To transform the archons into...
Hi everyone, Aldbar here, and welcome to the live stream. Here you can ask your DDO questions, ask for DDO demonstrations, and ask for DDO advice. So please be my guest on my show, Ask Aldbar DDO Live. Enjoy! So, how you all doing today? Missed my Monday show. Maybe we can catch up a bit today. Previously, this character was, I think he was about to hit level 30. Since I've hit level 30 and then did a epic reincarnation back to level 20. And now I'm leveling back up again. So that's what we're working on today. Trying to get this character back up to level 30. Evening Star has these 6 challenges you can do. I've done already 3 of them. Yeah, 3 more to do. Okay, so currently we're doing something called this is a quest challenge. Whatever. Usually their quests are not described as challenges, but the format's slightly different. Yeah, the format over here is, once I talk to him, there'll be like a 15-minute counter. I've got to protect him. And yeah, that's basically it. There'll be side objectives to do, and the more objectives I do, the more stars I'll get, different star ratings. And I get XP based on it. And there's a significant amount of XP experience you get for doing it the first time.
Arcanon starts to chant. Yet, as the ritual begins, you hear shouts and running footsteps nearby. The enemy is coming.
It's actually only 10 minutes. Fine. That's even better.
One of the knights is under attack.
There's 2 of these purple dragon knights on both sides. And if they go down, so then the orb surrounding the central guy goes down, then he can be attacked. So I need to first protect them. And if they take too much damage, so then he'll become vulnerable. Also, you can heal up the purple dragon knights, but the game really doesn't want you to do it. So there's like a negative penalty for healing on them. They barely heal from positive healing. Yeah, so the first like 2 minutes is just stand around over here, protect them, and then secondary objectives will open up. Yeah, so if you're wondering, this is a DDO challenge. Got a timer, and we've got 10 minutes to protect the central guy while protect the 2 dragon knights. Does the helpless damage stack? As far as I can tell, yes. But you can just confirm it in the plus tab. You should be able to see how much helpless damage you do. But as far as I know, all the enhancements bonus to helpless and enhancements bonus to most of that kind of stuff, it all stacks. So yeah. You get like 15 here and 35 there, or whatever it is, 40 there. I forgot the numbers. It should stack together. I'm assuming you can use one of the falconary bird attacks, like the melee cleave, and then get the extra bonus damage.
You'd come find me and face me yourself.
Now there's like a quest side objective. There's one of these. There's some character who shows up. We've got to go find him and fight him.
One of the knights is under attack.
But for that, we have to leave the center, so got to be quick about it. We leave for too long, he'll take too much damage.
One of the knights is under attack. Evening Star has sent a supply crate for you.
Three different ways we can go on this little map.
More of them are coming, calls Argonon.
You gotta find them.
Find some parts and repair the ballistas. They might turn the tide of battle. One of the knights is under attack.
Second objective is to find these ballista parts.
One of the knights is under attack. Argonon calls out. The ritual is almost complete, but beware, night is coming. As the sun slides below the horizon, a strange howl echoes through the hills.
What is my favorite build that I've ever done? The kind of playstyle that I always come back to seems to be melee. So anything with melee seems to be like my favorite. I also like range, but range comes in like these bursts where I love it for a short time and then I hate it. So it's like I can play it for a little bit, then I get totally sick of it. I can't say so much about the... So at its peak, I like range more, but if it's going to come back to the same thing again and again and again, it's going to be it's going to have to be what's it called? Melee. Basically what I'm saying is like my quick stick build, I've played way more than I've ever played like the machine bow build, even though at its peak I like the machine bow build better. I mean, I was using a great crossbow, which is the strongest weapon in the game, and using endless fusillade with it and blasting through things. How could that not be fun?
Splendid, you've repaired one of the ballistas, says Argonon. Quick, use it to attack oncoming enemies.
You want a specific name of a build? I don't really have a specific name.
Double speed.
One of the knights is under attack.
Well, yeah, range is not very fun to level up.
One of the knights has fallen. I'm unprotected while he recovers. Argonon is being attacked. One of the knights is under attack. Very good, crows Argonon. We should be able to hold them back easily now that we've repaired both ballistas.
Yeah.
One of the knights
So that's I guess I could summarize it by saying melee is the one that I don't get sick of, and peak pleasure, the one I enjoy the most, but only for a short amount of time, is range. If I turn my main character into range, I might start playing the game. Let's put it like that.
The ritual is finished, Argonon says. Yet it will be a few minutes before the spell ward reaches its full power. You must not let anything break the spell before then. Evening Star has sent a strange shape, sprints through the trees, and metal glints in the moonlight.
Yeah, we have to fight a boss now.
This creature is no ordinary werewolf.
Werewolf with a blade stuck in his back. I think that's his name, Bladeback or something like that. Come on, where is he? Here he comes.
They're attacking the spell ward, cries Argonon. You must draw them away from it if you can. One of the knights is under attack. One of the knights is under attack. The mighty Bladeback gives one last whimper and falls to the ground.
Yeah, this final part of the challenge becomes a little bit intense, because right now the spell ward thingy is unprotected and it can easily take too much damage. And if you don't have enough damage to output to get rid of the trash enemies, keep on spawning in, you'll be in trouble.
One of the knights is under attack.
Also, occasionally, this quest or challenge can bug out and not properly complete. And then you've got to do the 10 minutes again. Yeah, so for anyone joining now, we're doing one of the Evening Star challenges. It's a quest who's shaped like a challenge, where they give you specific objectives and you complete them. The more objectives you get, the more stars you get. It's kind of like a quest, but it's set up as a challenge. That's the way they describe it. Little timer ticking on the right side in the quest objective box. 30 seconds to go. You just gotta survive until then. Seven seconds.
The spell ward is now fully charged. A rumble shakes the
Okay, very good.
beneath your feet.
Yeah, so that's like 10 minutes.
Of force pulse from
You got 100 and something, 104,000 XP. Definitely very good XP point.
We did it! Cheers, Argonon. It will be quite a while before werewolves or other dark creatures return to this valley. For such an effort, you deserve an extra reward.
So the way challenges are rewarded, you get there's a whole bunch of quest objectives, and every one of them gives you a star. If you do all stars, you get 5 stars. If you do the challenge at also max level, so these challenges go up to level 30. If you do them at level 30, you'll get a second star, an extra bonus star. So you'll end up with 6 stars. If I go to challenges, so if I do it at level 30, I'll have 6 stars. It says there's 5 over here, but in total at the end, I get favor. So I get 6 favor. Yeah, so that's our goal. Also, I noticed I got a armor. There's these Cormyrean armors and weapons. First off, standalone, they're not that good, but they do have a unique cosmetic to them. Let's put this one on and take off my the cosmetic. So what I'm wearing right now, and this is the Cormyrean armor. Some of them got like a purple tint to them. Put back on my proper armor. One thing you should notice about the Cormyrean armor, though, is it's technically a named item. So you can feed it to your sentient weapon. There's something from level 20 and above, there's something called a sentient weapon in DDO, which is kind of like a weapon who's got like a personality or life. And you can level it up by feeding it items. By feeding it named items, it gains experience. And as it gains experience, you can give it these things called filigrees, where these little like gems or jewels you slot into the weapon makes it more powerful. So it basically gives you what to do with all the named items you find you don't need. You can feed them to your sentient weapon. So yeah, Cormyrean weapons and armor are worth sentient XP. Okay, we didn't do this one yet. I can see I haven't done it at all. No stars. This is a repeat of the other of the challenge we just did, but if before it was, I don't know, daybreak, so this is nightfall. Basically the same kind of thing, but the monster variety is slightly different.
The war wizard stands in the midst of the ruined keep. He waves you over, anxious to speak with you. Zenith starts to chant. Yet as the ritual begins, growls and roars come from the distance. The enemy is coming. One of the knights is under attack.
Yeah, so this quest is very similar to the previous challenge. The setting, it's the same map, but the setting is like slightly different. Yeah, Same thing, 10-minute timer, protect the guy, protect the different knights. At a certain point, I'll go get ballista pieces. Looks like piles of rubble or wood on the floor. You pick them up. Every 3 piles you pick up, you can fix one of these 2 ballistas. Sadly, they don't actually work. There are ballistas in DDO who work, where you can stand behind them and fire them. These are not that variety.
The knight is under attack.
When re-leveling this character, I forgot to spend a point in Perform. So now I can't use any of my Bard Perform abilities, sadly. Oh well, I'll be back up to 30 soon, and I'll be doing it again. One of the mechanics in DDO is that you get a first-time bonus to your experience the first time you do a quest. So repeating a quest doesn't give you as much experience. So I want to do as many first-time quests as possible for the maximum amount of experience.
If you creatures think yourselves strong enough, then find me and face the power of a true druid. One of the knights is under attack. One of the knights is under attack.
Once again, I've got a boss who's spawned in one of these 3 locations. I gotta go find him.
Evening Star has sent.
Well, of course, he's in the 3rd place.
More of them are coming, calls Zenith. Try. One of the knights is under attack.
I should look out for ballista parts now. They only spawn in like after like 5 minutes or 4 minutes are gone from the quest.
Zenith calls out. One of the knights is under attack.
This guy's considered a extreme challenge.
One of the knights is under attack. The druid roars as he collapses. You're no match for her. You've repaired one of the ballistas, says Zenith. Quickly, you... One of the knights is under attack.
Gotta find a few more ballista parts.
Paint magnet. Oh.
I think I've got all the ballista parts now.
One of the knights is under attack.
The critical thing about this particular challenge is you've got to have good movement speed. If you can't move fast enough, you're never going to make it in time. Well, you're not going to be able to solo it, because you won't be able to get back to the center fast enough.
Very good, Crows Zenith. We should be able to hold them back easily now that we've repaired both ballistas.
Where's his spell orb? Is it bugged or is it break? Oh, it didn't break. Oh, no, he seems fine. Got worried there for a moment. Yeah, one of the mechanics of this particular challenge is they'll occasionally drop like a supply crate who drops randomly in one of the passageways. If you go click on it, it'll give you a random, well, benefit. Either it'll give you like a minute of double speed, or it'll give you quad damage, doing 4 times as much damage for the next minute. One of them is you become a hate magnet. Basically, it means that everything is attracted to you rather than to the vulnerable. I mean, either the Dragon Knights or the Wizard in the middle. They come at you instead, which is good if you can handle all the heat.
Do not let them break the spell before then.
Here's the last 3 minutes, and now the boss is going to show up.
Echoes through the ground. Something big is headed this way.
Instead of a werewolf, this time it's all nature-based kind of thing. So we got plants and water elementals, and here comes a big woodwode. It's a big tree.
Attacking the spell ward, cries Zenith. You must draw them away from it if you can. Evening Star has sent a supply crate for you. One of the knights is under attack. With a crack, the mighty woodwode falls.
Yeah, still got like a little bit more than a minute and a half to protect this thing. The spell ward. I hope this quest doesn't bug out again. Yeah, these challenges were designed to be done with a party. So you would have different party members assigned to different passageways. Would have to go down and scout it out, or find ballista parts, or protect against incoming enemies. Trying to solo it is kind of tricky. Okay, 40 seconds to go. Yeah, I'll go right for it. 10, 8, 6, 5.
The spell ward is now fully charged. A rumble shakes
That's nice, we've completed it.
your feet, and powerful waves of force pulse from its center. Good work, Cheers Zenith. It will be quite a while before these forces return to the keep. For such an effort, you deserve an extra reward.
A word about sentient weapons. the items you feed to the sentient weapon will give it experience points or XP based on the level of the item. So for items that are basically every item has a level to it, and that's the amount is going to give XP. But from a certain level and higher, there's also a multiplier. So items level 1 through 20 will give exactly the amount of XP as the level. So put on a level 7 item, it's going to give 7 experience to the sentient weapon. Now, sentient weapons can go up to like 210,000 experience. So you'll be feeding a lot of weapons and named items if that's how you're going to go about it. However, from level 21 and above, now there's a multiplier of times 5. And that stays all the way up until level 29. Level 29 and above, the items have a multiplier of 10. So if you're feeding level 31 items, you'll be getting 310 experience. And if you're feeding level, 24 item, so you get 120 experience. So those armors are times 5. So it's actually the Cormyrean weapons and armors are pretty good. Which also brings me to the final point is each one of these particular challenges gives like an ingredient you can then go and turn into items randomly, items or weapons or armors. And those particular armors, the level 24 ones, each one is 120 sentient XP. So if you've got like thousands of these ingredients because you've been running these challenges, but like don't want to buy any of the items, go buy out every single weapon you can and armor you can who's level 24 and just feed them to your sentient items. Yeah, you'll gain a lot of experience like that. Well, here's the last one. I haven't done this one yet. Probably my favorite. Left it to last. Unlike the other challenges, you don't have to run around as much in this challenge.
As you enter the arena.
What are these tiny specks who have entered the ring? Is it possible these insects wish to fight? Very well. Ring the gong if you wish to test yourself. Survive 3 rounds, and you'll earn the right to fight our best champions for glory and wealth.
Yeah, so this dragon is Arena Master. He's challenging me. So, here we go. Every time I ring the bell, it's going to get the challenges set.
This? They've accepted the challenge. They may be small and weak and stink of humans, but let's give them a chance anyway. Seal the arena. Let the games begin.
So on the side, on the top right, you can see the kill count. The first round is going to be 15 enemies. And then second round, 15 enemies, and I'll get to fight a boss. And by the way, if you do this with a party member, there'll be more enemies per round. Which also means you'll get a higher score and a higher reward and more ingredients. So if you want to farm ingredients, having a full party makes a big difference. Because the spawn rate is increased. I do believe the spawn rate increases also if you just have a hireling, but not as much. So it's 15 per player, and half as much for a hireling. I think that's kind of what I remember.
Well, it seems you gnats can bite after all. Round 1 is finished. Begin the second round.
Whenever it was last week, when trying out the Dampier preview on Lamania, while I was there, I tried out a few different build variations. So one of them, I was working on a First Life build for free-to-play players. And I came up with the build, and I tested them on the test dummy. And then I did a whole bunch of other builds, who were all premium. And none of them had more DPS, more damage per second, than the free-to-play build that I made for for new players. It was kind of like, what? Really? This is this good? Yeah. So now I've got to find out the small details. And so as soon as we get to 30 kills, round 2 will be done, and then I'll fight a boss. Then after that, there'll be like every minute, they'll give me an option to click on the gong and start a new challenge. Also, there's 2 versions of this particular challenge. This is the fire version.
Please fight on, but wait. Watch this. From the flames comes a new contender to make things interesting. Congratulations, worms. You may be worthy after all. Now, let's see if you're ready to take on the Horde. The longer you last, the greater your rewards.
Yeah, so as long as I stay here, I get a higher score for killing this, whatever, these trash mobs who spawn in. They just keep on spawning in. So as long as the timer is going, I can kill more of them. I moved over the little challenge bar so you can see it. Currently it's got 1 star. You have to have at least 1 star to complete the challenge. So I've survived enough to defeat the first challenge.
Disagreeable bunch, if you ask me. Untrustworthy and hard to digest as well.
You accepted the wizard's riddle. He presents you with 4 gifts.
Okay, so this, I just accepted a challenge. In the 4 corners of the arena, you can find gongs that spawn in. And clicking on them accepts whatever. Makes a challenge.
Found the real chest. The wizard isn't happy that you solved his puzzle.
The challenge he gave me
Watch out for his pets.
spawns 4 chests in, but the 4 chests in the 4 corners, only one of them is real. The other 3 are mimics, which are monsters who look like a chest. So if you pick the wrong one, you'll get attacked by the chest. My goal is to find the right one. But I found that it's always the one right next to the gong. So. Pretty easy, but if I approach this chest here, it's going to try to attack me. I don't need to go attack it, but if I do, well, I get a higher score because I get more kills. And there's nothing to do anyways right now. I gotta wait until the next challenge spawns in. And it might spawn into this corner, so might as well clear out the corner. To enter the challenges, you need something called a challenge token, unless you bought the adventure pack. So for players who want to play this for free, they can do that, but they can only get 1 challenge token a day. So you can only do 1 challenge a day. But you can collect the tokens, 1 per day, and then once you've got a whole bunch of them, go run all the challenges. And for players who have access to it, so they made another use for the tokens. In the corners of the arena, occasionally there's like a big crate, and you can spend a token and get yourself some extra bonus power. So yeah, I probably have tokens on this character. Here, let's see if I get something. I got double speed and quad damage. For both temporary buffs, and they last for a minute.
You accepted the
We can use
challenge
this.
of the elemental.
Yeah, so by spending 1 token, I got a whole bunch of extra speed and a whole bunch of extra damage. It doesn't last for very long, but it helps. Yeah, so that's kind of like the idea behind it. It gives players who have free access to these challenges something to do with their tokens. And you might be struggling with a challenge, so having extra tokens on hand can be very useful. Especially if you have problems with things like the end fights. Maybe the boss fight's too hard. So you might want to pop one of those chests like right before the boss fight and hope to get something good. There's a whole bunch of different buffs you can get. One of them makes you invulnerable, one of them makes you automatically heal, one of them attracts all the enemies to you, which is not very useful on this particular challenge. You can become invisible. Well, depending on what your character is, some of them are situational. And now we just gotta wait for the next, challenge to become active.
The fire witch tells me that your soul would make an excellent spell component. I'm not sure why anyone would want such a puny little thing, but I'm sure she knows what she's doing. Ring the gong to accept.
You accepted the Fire Witch's challenge.
I love cutting it off before I'm finished.
Impressive words, most entertaining. I think I shall do you the honor of challenging you myself, except if you dare. But be quick about it. I'm feeling very, very hungry.
Yeah, so because I've defeated all the other champions, so now the boss of the arena itself is willing to grace me with his presence to come down and fight. Every time you click on one of the challenges, it gives you like another minute or two extra time. So it increases the total time of the challenge. Here we go. The boss is going to come down. You got an overwhelming amount of what I refer to as trash mobs or sidekicks. Got rid of them first. Then we'll kill the dragon. Well, he's dead. Well, as you can see, I still got 4 minutes on my timer. Oh, 4 more minutes of standing around and killing monsters and racking up a score.
The crowd has thrown a supply crate onto the field.
Yeah, now I get a supply crate once the challenge is technically over. Oh, there is a fail state in these challenges. If everyone in the party, which in this case is, well, just me, but if everyone in the party dies, I think you get booted out of the arena. So, one other thing you gotta be conscious of.
Invisibility.
Yeah, invisibility is kind of useless. They all see right through it, especially if you're the only one. Oh, wow. Thank you very much for the raid. I appreciate it. How are you all doing, raiders? Right now, finishing up a Evening Star challenge. One of the challenges in... Well, it's a quest. It was designed like a challenge in DDO. Basically, they give you a few key objectives. You gotta complete at least one. And then you can complete more objectives and get more rewards. But yeah, we've completed all the main objectives. We've got 5 stars already. This is actually at highest difficulty, so technically I'll get a 6th star. And now we've just got to wait for the timers on the right side. Got about 2 minutes left. And while we're waiting, well, clearing out some more enemies to rack up the score even higher. And my character has reappeared. Previously, I picked up a bonus ability, I guess. A buff. Well, that's arguable. I got an extra little thingy that made me invisible for a minute. It just ran out now. Yeah, just about a minute left to go. Yeah, Evening Star's got these, added a challenge pack, which is 6 challenges. You can either buy the entire adventure pack and then have free access to all the challenges, or you can pick up a free token once per day, and then you can pick to go into one of the challenges. You can collect it. You can collect and save up the tokens. They're bound to the character you pick them up on, but you can collect them as many as you want. So if you go in every day and collect them, you'll have at least 6, and you'll be able to then run all of the challenges one after another. Or if you fail one, you can try to rerun it again and get a higher score. And if you don't need those tokens, there's in the corners of the arena, there's different containers you can like unlock for bonuses and boosts. Okay, 8 seconds, we're almost done. Last few enemies, and then the rest of them dissipate as soon as the time's up. And time.
The clash of a gong echoes through the arena.
There you go.
Your foes suddenly withdraw. The audience is hushed in awe as you stand undefeated, the supreme champion of the arena.
Yeah, so those 15 minutes this entire run, but a lot of it was like stacked up time because every time I click on one of the gongs, it adds another minute or 2 to the timer. So you start off with less time, but as you progress, you get more and more time as it goes on. So, here we go. I can now afford this upgrade. As you level up, you gain experience, and the more experience you get, the more abilities you can buy. These are my epic destinies. There's enhancements, which are what's called your heroic levels. And then there's the epic destinies. These are your epic levels, and I just bought myself a new upgrade. Here we go. Before I move on to the next quest, anybody's got any specific request? It's easier to ask for specific quests or other information mid-quest, mid-journey, not in the middle of the quest. So this is your opportunity. I'm going to stop by a vendor where I can sell and repair my items. There's a small chance that you'll take damage to your items when you're playing. It's basically a way that the game monitors having infinite wealth. Basically, every time you play a quest, you are effectively generating wealth. Because, well, you collect rewards, and you can redo it again and again and again and again. So, automatically, you'll have tons of inflation in the game. So, to combat this, we need what's called a platinum sink. Basically, ways that the game removes currency from the game. And a lot of it's through buying, selling, repairing, etc. I'm just quickly going through all the items. As long as the item doesn't have 2 augment slots, I'll just sell it. And yes, I can sell it to the vendors around me and get 10% more platinum for it. But I'm doing fine, I don't need it. Okay, here we go. Before we go, this is a critical question from all of you. This is a big deal now. So, weigh your choices. And here we go. The cloak I'm currently wearing is meant to go with this outfit, which is green and brown. Okay? And this is green and brown. I've been wearing it for a long time. The cloak that I wanted to have wasn't actually this cloak. It was a different cloak. The cloak that I actually wanted to have is this. This is called the Jungle Cloak, and it comes from the Titan Raid, and it's very rare. I particularly like it. It's very simple. And mind you that when I'm attacking, it keeps it moving out of the way, so you'll still be able to see the armor. So my question is, which cloak should I move to? Should I go for the Jungle Cloak or for the Venom Cloak? So to make it easy to vote, we're going to call the Jungle 1 and Venom for V, we're going to be 2, okay? So I guess cast your votes if you'd like me to play the Jungle Cloak, because it's going to be 1, or the Venom Cloak. This is the one with the 2 fangs on it. This is number 2. Yeah. Pick whichever one you think is nicer. After all, the back of the character is what you see for most of the time while I'm playing, so I guess I'll run around a little bit so you can see what they look like. So this is Jungle Cloak. And this is Venom Cloak. Venom is number 2. Jungle. Venom. So far we got 1 vote for Jungle. My only thing with the Jungle is I wish they would make it, if it was like a little bit more transparent, it would be like the perfect cloak. Venom is number 2. Jungle number 1. So far I've got 2 votes for Jungle Cloak. Well, I got 2 votes for Jungle Cloak. Let's create the Jungle Cloak. So you got something called a Mirror of Glamoring. You double click on it. It opens up this trading window. Then you take the item you want to glamour. So in this case, the Jungle Cloak. Drop it in here. Hit Cloak Glamour and create cosmetic. So the item that I had stays untouched, unaffected, still the same thing. However, now I have also a copy, a cosmetic copy. I can take this and I can wear it. So the thing that gets consumed is the Mirror of Glamoring. So here we go. We went from Venom Cloak to Jungle Cloak. Fun fact about the Jungle Cloak. It's actually, I think it's considered like a wand. So if you've got abilities to increase your wand power, attack and damage from it, or effectiveness, etc., it will make it more powerful. So it's got the small regrowth effect, which is a healing over time for 2 minutes and 6 seconds. But you can actually increase it with abilities that will increase the power of wands. There we go. So now I know where one of the rarest cloaks in the game comes from. By the way, this armor is also pretty rare. There's, in Necropolis 4, there's something called the Silver Flame Nugget and the Emerald Claw Nugget. And if you turn into Emerald Claw Nugget, which requires you upgrading it 4 times at the altar at the end of the Necropolis chains, you can turn it into an armor. So I particularly like it. I like the color scheme, but I thought it would be appropriate having this hand right in the middle that I'm playing a character who uses his hands. So, yep. Yeah, some very unique cosmetics you can get that almost no one knows about. And because nobody runs the raid anymore, it's kind of rare to see players with it.
Sable Manor looms ahead. It's hard to believe this grand estate was the scene of a savage attack on Sir Ebermund.
So this is a very heavily story-based quest.
The form of a woman suddenly appears. Stop him! My journals, they will tell you what he is and what he has done. Please, stop him! A djinn glides toward you. Welcome to Sable Manor. You are here to see Sir Ebermund, I take it? He is recovering in the conservatory.
So there's 4 guests over here, and there's something wrong with each one of them. They're all underneath the influence of a vampire. And there'll be 4 phases over here of day and night, and in each phase I can release one of them. Any one of them who I don't release, I'm going to have to face off against in the final boss fight. So I can just click through all the dialogue and just run through this quest haphazardly, or I can try to disable each one of them in his own round. So I've got to figure out which one of them is being brainwashed right now. So I got to talk to them, and based on the responses, if the response is not natural to them, then I know that they're being brainwashed. Let's see. I don't think it's this guy. I don't remember exactly there's like a specific text dialogue to each one of them. I have to see if I can spot it right away. If I get the first one right, I'll try to keep in with the other rounds. If I get it wrong, I'm just gonna blast through the quest. Probably this one. It says he's an elf who complains about not being able to rest, which is very suspicious. So let's scour the place. We need to find an item that we can use. So talking to Sir Edmund or whatever his name is over here. We'll trick her.
The twisting passages of the toy labyrinth are fascinating. It almost feels like you're being drawn deep into the maze's complexities. But then you remember the threat of the vampire and snap back to the task at hand.
There's a secret door here, but I'm not able to find it. Let's see if I can get a hireling to find it for me. Good job. So there's 4 like quest items you can find, who can be used to disable the guests. So we're looking for those. You don't have to find this passageway to complete this quest. However, there's a objective optional scroll that shows up in this passageway if you want to find it.
This sleeping potion is so powerful that it could send even an elf to Dreamland.
Yeah, so we found the potion that we can use to put the elf to sleep. There's a few more scrolls. Oh, I see. Look, shrine. If you haven't already, please hit like and subscribe. Thank you very much. And don't forget to follow on Twitch if you aren't.
This map is covered with moving magical symbols. Tiny pictures of deer, grouse, and other game. The attic door is shut tight. Not even a skilled rogue could get it open.
Yeah, I think we've found all the 4 items we need for the different guests. So during the daytime, they're all in the main hall. And during the nighttime, each one of them is in a different room. We can only deactivate 1 per round. And there's a specific one in each round. So I believe that right now the elf is the one who's enthralled because he's complaining about not being able to sleep. Which is suspicious for an elf who doesn't sleep. Just checking out the rest of the mansion. We'll go down and engage the elf. I believe that if you do it in order, if I remember correctly at least, you can completely save yourself facing off against him in the final fight.
This ornate amulet is decorated with a carving of a Medusa's head.
Yeah, I think we've got all of them now. Go back to the bottom floor. See if we missed anything. Yeah, we completed a complete circuit of the top floor. And the bottom floor. Oh, this door is open or not?
The west chambers of Sable Manor have
Nope,
been
still
shuttered
locked.
for many years.
Yeah, there's some side areas who open up, 1 per phase.
The hedge maze gate is closed and bolted.
Here's another section. I'm not able to catch that rat currently. I need a trap to catch him. I think you find a trap in the basement.
wine cellar door is securely sealed from the inside.
Okay, so we've got the side rooms, we've got the attic, basement. Fine, I think we've visited everything. Let's go confront the elf. Yeah, I have something to show you. I should only do this after I already have the proper item. I don't know. Seems to be him. I'm not sure if it's him. I guess we have to start the first phase then. I don't remember. Let's go talk to Lord Sable, see what happens.
The sun rises and a new day begins.
I guess now we can do it. Save one of the guests.
Something clanks and clatters far above in the attic.
The attic is open. Let's go to the attic. Let's take it from there.
Sir Ebermond calls after you. Remember, explore the manor. Find an item to detect whether a guest is one of the vampire's thralls. Then save them if you can.
Well, she seems to be acting in character. She's a, whatever, a gallery thief.
Open, but there's no sign
And she seems to be impressed by everything in the gallery and not like, it's nothing. Oh, I guess it's not her. Oh, this attic thing now. Should be more notes in here. Yeah, we already have the 4 quest items. The place is covered with animated objects, all fighting us. Yeah, this is one of those heavy story-driven quests, which is typically not my type. I'm much more of the hack and slash variety of a player, rather than reading a lot of dialogue.
A gem of revelation can be used to detect powerful spells and enchantments.
There is a optional objective over here if you climb up on the roof. Might get a golem's heart.
A strange form lies stretched out on a platform high atop the roof.
He's alive! Didn't mean to heal him. He's dead. Yeah, I believe there's an augment that could drop from this chest called the Golem's Heart. I don't actually remember what it does, but it's a pretty good augment. Yeah, I believe we've finished visiting this area. And now I have to go confront find which one of the guests is being enthralled in this particular round. Oh, here we go. I knew I was missing a room. Okay. Attic clear. Let's go downstairs. So we already talked to the thief. I have to talk to the wizard. Where's that wizard? I think the wizard's on the bottom floor. Talk to the hunter, wizard, and the elf. Yeah, we've done the round on the top. Go downstairs. Here's the wizard. Not sure about him. Looks like his normal dialogue. I'm so tired the voice won't let me rest. I don't know, I think it's the elf, but let's go check the hunter just before we go. Because it's an honor. I don't know, I think it's the elf. We're gonna show him an item, and hopefully we can then release him. I just hope it's him.
You have uncovered one of the vampire's thralls. The bleary-eyed elf takes the potion from you. I'd give anything to rest, to escape that voice, to find sweet oblivion. He drains the bottle with a
Well, we got one of them.
swallow, and then collapses into a deep, deep sleep.
Okay, so basically it goes like this. There's 4 items that you can use. There's one who's specific for each guest, okay? And you need that specific item to release the guest. Those items are available from the beginning. There's the draft that puts this guy to sleep. There's a maze who catches the wizard. There's the Medusa medallion and some other item. I remember there's 4 items that each one of them is specific to the specific guest. Now you have to first uncover them, and you get 1 item per round that uncovers a guest. And there's 4 different items. And you walk up to the guest you suspect and you use the uncovering item, and then you have to have this specific item for that guest. So I already picked up all 4 items, so I've got all of them in my inventory, and now I'm going to keep on getting 1 per round that allows me to uncover a suspect. Okay, we're done with this round.
Night
Now we can
falls
switch to
on
night.
Sable Manor.
Yeah, we're doing a very heavy story-based quest.
Strange sounds resonate from deep below the manor house. Something is moving down in the wine cellar.
Okay, we're off to the wine cellar. Every time a single section opens up. Also, because I've already discovered one of the guests, this leaves me with less options for the next round. So next round I've got only 3 guests. And anyone I uncover or reveal, well, I won't have to fight him at the end fight.
Open. Inside, something skitters across the floor.
So what we're looking for is a specific item that will allow me to uncover a suspect guest. And then I must have the specific item that traps that guest or disables it. I already have that item, I just need the item that uncovers a suspect guest. I believe there's a trap in here, and we need to go catch a rat with it, which is next to the shrine. Yeah, rat trap.
This sturdy trap is perfect for catching household rodents.
Yeah, I'm gonna use it to catch the rat, who then I can in turn use to discover a suspect guest. This annoying trap animates objects and slows you down. So all the crates in the room suddenly become enemies and they try to attack you. Of course, we're going to clear out every nook and cranny in this cellar. Yeah, if you're wondering how to finish this quest quickly, you don't want to have to do all the optionals and stuff. Basically, you start off the quest, you go talk to Lord Sables on the left side room, and then he'll open up one of the areas. You go down to that area, clear out the objective, come back, talk to him again, do that 4 times, and then you can go downstairs and fight the vampire. But you're gonna have to fight all of his enthralled guests, and they're all gonna attack you. Okay, let's go get the rat. Now that we have the rat trap, and we need to find out which one of the guests is currently enthralled. Not here. Where's the garden? Garden is the back of this room. Out here? Yes, here we go. Back of this room. This time we have catch the rat using the rat trap.
You deftly snare the rat and put the caged animal inside your pack.
Now we can use, now the rat is the object that we're going to use to uncover. And then depending on which guest it is, we'll have the specific item that, well, disables them. So let's go find one of the guests. Question them. They should all be upstairs sleeping. This is a night shift, so during the night shift, everyone's someplace upstairs in one of the rooms. During the day, they're around the mansion. But they all have fixed locations. Let's see. Let's talk to him. Okay, he seems to be anxious to get out of here. He seems to be consistent, so I'm going to assume he's okay. Well, she seems to be consistent also. She seems to be admiring the jewelry and silverware. Oh, about on task with the thief. And still need to find the last one. Where's the wizard? Somewhere around here. I think he goes into one of the... Oh, here we go. Okay, now he's changed his tune. Before he was like, yeah, I can feel some kind of dark presence. Now he's like, what? No, not at all. If anything, I feel in peace here. Was here I was meant to be. I must be. Okay, so this one's suspicious. She's the one. Okay, so I have something to show you. I should reveal him now. I'm going to give him the rat.
You have uncovered one of the vampire's thralls.
And now I give him the magic maze. The magic maze is the item that's keyed for this particular wizard.
The wizard takes the model maze and examines it carefully. Ah, a most intriguing puzzle. Wait, what's going on? Am I shrinking? In the
Yeah, we got him
the
trapped
wizard
inside
is
of the maze.
trapped inside the magic labyrinth.
So the item from this round was the rat to uncover. It happened to be the rat, and we used it to uncover the guest. And then the specific item that's keyed for the guest to break the enchantment, or rather capture him, was the magic maze. Well, phase done. Move on to the next phase. Gotta go back downstairs, talk to Lord Sable, move the quest on. I haven't done this quest in a very long while, so I'm not very confident in all the solutions.
The sun rises.
Well,
and
it's
the
down to
day
only 2
begins.
different options now. Let's see what opens.
The smell of brimstone drifts down the hallway. Something's stirring in the long abandoned west chambers.
Yeah, so the side chambers are open now.
Someone or something has opened the door leading into the abandoned west chambers.
Yeah, the whole place over here is full of vampires and gargoyles, etc. Abandoned library. I don't know what's supposed to be over here. West chambers.
The orb of sunlight.
Okay, the Orb of Sunlight is the item for this round that can reveal and enthrall the guest. And depending on which guest it'll be, we'll have to use the specific guest item on them. Yeah, so the guest items are all available right from the start. You can pick up all 4 items, but then the item that you need for revealing every guest, you get 1 per round, and it's random. And the initial round, when they're all standing next to the fireplace, none of them are suspect. But that gives you the baseline. If you talk to them then, you'll see what their normal mindset is. And then you can see which one of them is changing their tune, so to speak. I believe I don't have to do all of these, clear out all those rooms. As long as I found the item that I was looking for, good to go. I love how some of these gargoyles are just the statues and the other ones come to life. More journals. I think there's like one for each side area. I do believe we picked up all the ones in the main mansion. I really hope I did. Okay, let's see which one it is. It's either the knight or the thief. Well, he's still complaining about being locked up over here. He seems consistent. It's probably going to be to this thief. So many fine possessions gathered over centuries, they must not be disturbed. Yeah, right. You must not steal from the master of the house. Okay, fine. She's changed her tune right now. So this is the one who's suspect, and we'll use the item we found, which happens to be the orb of light or something, to reveal her, and then we'll be able to disable her using the Medusa amulet.
You have uncovered one of the vampire's thralls. Flora grabs the bauble from your hands. The amulet of the Medusa. Just look at it. It's supposed to be enchanted, you know. Let me just pin it. But the collector is turned to stone before she can finish the sentence.
Yeah, the amulet of the Medusa apparently turns you into stone if you look at it. So, now we're down to the last one.
Night falls on Sable Manor.
Final area is going to be the yard.
Wood creaks and leaves rustle in the back garden. It's as if the plants themselves have grown restless.
Here we go. Garden's open.
Gate leading into the hedge maze stands open.
So in this hedge maze, there's two options. Well, first of all, we need an item that is going to reveal our enthralled guest for this round. And there's also a optional werewolf who's the gatekeeper, who's the garden keeper. We can get rid of him also. So right now I'm going to just stick to the right.
Lion springs into action.
Hug the right wall until I finish clearing out this area. Try not to get turned around too much. As long as I just hug the right wall and keep on going, I should get my way in and out. Okay, found the scroll for this section. Still worried I'm missing one. Yeah, the rule with hedge mazes is as long as you just stick to the to one wall, you should be fine. Okay, we found the item. Yeah, the item should we should be able to uncover the last guest, who we know now is the knight. I'll try to read his dialogue and see what's changed about him. But he's the only one left, so it's got to be him. Successfully, we've done the other 3 guests. The rule of sticking to the right or just to the left and going through a hedge maze only works if there's only one solution. If you have a place where you can go 2 different ways, you'll end up in a loop. It doesn't work if there's more than one way to get through the maze. If any of you trying to use this in a corn maze, just telling you.
A humble shack in a corner of the hedge maze serves as the groundskeeper's home.
Due to the list of my monster manual kills. Not many red werewolves, do you? And we're out. There's a little section over here. I think this is a dead end. Check it out anyway. Yeah. As I remembered it. Okay, fine. Let's go get the knight. He should be upstairs in one of the sleeping rooms. We can uncover him and then, well, send him off on his way. Not here. Here we go. Let's see what he changes. What's his, how he talks now. Always happy to chat. Now he's got time. Ask away. I'm a simple man of nothing at hand. Restless? Not a bit. Yeah, sure. We got plenty of time, not rushing. He's okay. Okay, fine. Let's uncover.
You have uncovered one of the vampire's thralls. The knight's eyes bulge when he sees the moving symbols on the magic map. Look at that! 2 prime stags within a stone's throw of this house. Oh ho, the chase is on! Sir Chadris rushes out of the house, his mind consumed with the hunt.
Okay, so we have released all the guests. Still, for some reason, I'm missing. I know there's one scroll who is right next to the end, but there should be one more in the hallway someplace. I think maybe we missed it. A quick search. If I don't find it, we'll go. There's a lot of story elements in this particular quest. I know there's one on the stairs right over here. Read it. Pretty sure we got the one from the journal, 9th journal. Yeah, we got this one. So which one did we miss? Maybe we missed the one in the secret passageway? Secret passageway. It's easier to find the secrets, but here we go. 3rd journal. First journal. Pretty sure I got the one from this floor also. Come on, where is it? Got that one also. I'm just rechasing my steps because I don't know which journal I missed. Just been here. Pretty sure we got it. Oh, here we go. And the last one should be at the bottom. I think it's like right next to the door. Go talk to Lord Sabo for the last time and get to the final bit of this quest.
The sun rises and a new day begins.
Here we go, final day.
Voice calls to you, seemingly from behind the house. At last, after long years of waiting, I can finally return to my manor. I trust you've enjoyed your stay, says the voice. Unfortunately, I was unable to greet you personally. It took time to break the seals on my crypt, even with the artifacts my foolish guests provided.
Well, here we go. As always, if you're enjoying this video, please like and subscribe. If you enjoyed the stream, like. If you're on Twitch, please follow. And now we get to the end fight. Time I made it to this end fight, I was not prepared for it. Well, we've got these 4 seals that open up. Every time we change phases, one of these lights up. And now we jump down.
Still, what are a few days to one who has waited for centuries to be free? And now I'm quite ready to receive visitors. Just open the door and let yourself in.
That's it. Final one. And we're going to face the boss.
But let me introduce myself properly. I am the first and only Lord Sable. With a harsh laugh, the vampire springs into battle.
Around the room, there are these pillars. If I break the pillars, we'll allow light in.
From behind the round fast, Lord Sable screams as the light. Come to me, my pets, the vampire cries. A swarm of rats answers his call. Lord Sable's long struggle has finally ended. Not in escape, but in true and lasting death. The pillar falls, and bright light streams into the crypt.
If you allow the light in, it makes them vulnerable, and it takes more damage. If we haven't released the prisoners, the 4 guests, so then I'll be fighting them all at the same time. You've got casters, melee, wizards, whatever. So here we go. Well, completed all of the objectives. 2 chests of loot. Unfortunately, didn't get the name item. How long did this thing take? 50 minutes. No wonder why this quest is not very popular. There's a little small resurrection shrine that pops in once you're finished. Okay. What other quests do we have at this level? Yes, we do Brothers of the Forge. Yeah, so the quest in DDO, there's different styles. There's the hack and slash, where you just run around and kill things. And then there's more story-driven quests, and there's everything in between. So the previous quest, the one we just finished now, was very, very heavily story-based. Seemed to be less popular. Players are a lot of times just interested in the XP per minute kind of quests. I mentioned before something called the daily challenge tokens. So right in the center of House Cannith, there's this daily challenge token giver. You get to talk to her once a day. When you start off DDO, you're introduced to a few characters. One of them is this Talbron. And yeah, this is like a continuation of his like story arc. Basically, the Warforged are these automatrons were created for like war.
It was green then, but I could not forget it. Good. I believe
And now he's looking for one of his lost friends.
Let me try. This is where they made us into weapons for their war. This is where my first memories began. It was here that Gorin and I met. Here that we became friends. Although, at the time, we did not know the word.
As I was scouring this place, I keep on finding
Forge brothers, dead.
some of his dead
Let's
friends.
see who it was. Jafar, damaged, but not in ruins. Has someone been dwelling here, fending off the decay? The dim corridors, the training rooms. It all comes back now.
Yeah, so we were running through these areas were kind of like abandoned ruins and looking for this character's friend, who's supposedly someplace down here. I found over here a training module. We're gonna pick it up and use it later.
Pattern module. Why was it left here?
Okay, area is clear. We found the training module.
A voice from a magic mouth speaks.
Seeking Gorin? Complete the training module. Begin with pattern Tau.
What is this? Is Gorin in danger? Held hostage? I've come too far. Still, it seems we must play this game. The modules go into the console. This isn't the pattern as I remember it,
The accustomed patterns have been altered
says the magic mouth.
to provide a new challenge.
Well, someone's messing with us. Any guesses on who?
The magic mouth speaks again.
Training success. Complete 2 more patterns and the way will be opened.
The golems are able to take the form of any enemy. This was used for purposes of instruction. Is that Gorin and me? What is this?
Did you see how the Kenneth Master looked when he stepped in that repair oil? It was indeed humorous, but if you had been caught, you know what they would do, Gorin.
You finished talking? Thank you.
Gorin had so much potential and so little self-restraint. I often had to get him mage fire cannons. If Jeets were here, they'd already be disabled.
Yeah, that was a callback to one of the other 3 characters you introduced to when you start this game. Jeets, Talrun, and Salimus.
Says the voice from the magic mouth.
The way is opened.
The magic mouth. That's exactly how the masters gave instructions when I was training here. Any of my Forge brothers would recognize it.
Once again, I just used I used my heart link to try to find a secret door, because sometimes behind the secret door you can find extra friends, I guess. Well, fallen friends of Tauron. We're very lucky that this particular quest has an NPC who doesn't die instantaneously and drive you crazy. This particular drone just reduces your armor class. It doesn't actually damage you. It makes you weaker to other enemies while they're attacking. Hi there, noob. Enjoy the lurk. Thanks for stopping by and thanks for informing me. I appreciate it. It's nice knowing.
I came to repair Ward once for acid burns. Gorin was here many times.
Well, there's a shrine here again, so in case you haven't already, please hit like. Follow on Twitch if you're not. Subscribe on YouTube if you're not. Thank you. Could be a secret passageway someplace here, but it's not critical.
There are nothing but maintenance tunnels down below. Still, the way may lead us to Gorin.
Gotta check underneath all the stairs. More of his fallen friends hanging out around here. Sometimes in this area, right where we walk up this ramp, there's another one of those fallen comrades. Don't seem to have any this time.
Myrog! What tempted you from your wizard's tower? What could have outmatched your quick wits and arcane lore? Years later, Jeets helped me search for Gorin. I could not find him, but for some reason I felt certain he had survived the war.
Well, taking this slowly but surely. Still haven't found any. I suspect that these gears over here are dangerous. I haven't actually tried to touch them. I know that there's a quest out in the cogs where there's a big gear and if you touch it, you get crushed. So, these might be the same type. I don't know. Not going to find out.
Was Gorin lured here and taken prisoner? But who would do such a thing? And why?
Okay, so basically, you can go one of the two ways, but they force you to go both ways. So whichever one you open up, the module is going to be on the other side. I think technically if you open up this door and just go to the other side, you should find a module there. Did we get everything? Yeah. So as I suspected, there is no training module because this is the first room we went to. Let's see if my hireling could find the secret door. Again, I suspect it's here. Hey, congrats. Reached the 100 follower mark. Nice. Good job to everyone. Thank you very much for everyone who's followed. Appreciate it. Yeah, thank you very much for the follow. Ken? Not very good yet at reading gamer tags and figuring out what people have in mind when they write their names. I've got a lot of work ahead of me.
Another training
But of course, thank you again. Thank you very much for the follow.
Deliberately placed here.
Oh, there's a shrine here. I finally received the little buttons that I was waiting for, that I ordered online, changed for my mouse. I started working on soldering them in place, but my soldering iron was very cheap and couldn't reach the temperatures I needed, and it was almost impossible to melt the solder. It took me about an hour to solder one button. That should take literally like 20 seconds. So I need to buy a new soldering iron.
A different voice comes from this magic mouth.
You've done well, Talbron. Disgustingly well, just like you always did. Always so superior, so distant. Enough with distance. Use the pattern. Use it!
Gorin, is that you?
Where were you, Talbron, when we slaughtered half-trained peasants? Where were you when fire burned?
Basically, his friends got PTSD. That's what's happening.
2 more patterns, Beta and Gamma. Then you can come closer. What? Talbron, they can't split us up. Who will laugh at my pranks while you're at sorcerer training in Sharn?
Gorin, we are soldiers now. We have our orders. I am sure you will fight admirably on the Threenish front.
I hoped to bolster his courage and make it true. We had no idea what we would face.
Come on, let me talk to the console. Thank you.
It must have been good to be a sorcerer, to sling spells from the back line. Not me. I had to see their faces, had to look into their...
Gorin is not well. I do not know what afflicts him, but I must find out.
Directive 27, take cover before the blast.
Okay, find
Rest
another one.
peacefully, Flint. Your life was not easy. Here, in the last war, as a sellsword in Lazar, whoever did this, I'll make them pay. More maintenance tunnels. Where is he leading us?
Well, I hope I find the last 2 someplace down here.
Ah, Clander. How did you end up here? I've seen you dance through a sea of swords, shoot arrows through falling leaves. And now here you are, dead. It cannot be. how many of our brothers has Gorin lured here? To think they outlived the last war, only to die where they began.
Yeah, anyone joining now? We are currently running through a quest. Who is like a tie back into the one of the original characters when he joined this game. Was looking for his friend who apparently has got PTSD and is kind of lost his mind. And we're slowly but surely going through this factory looking for bodies, I guess. Yep. Well, hope you're having a good time. And thanks for joining. Glad to see you. Yeah, I know there's a passageway that we missed.
The forges where we were made, shut down after the last war. They will never make
Yes,
war
this is the
again.
Deconstructor quest.
When one of us dies,
This quest has 2 named items. It's got a docent, which is armor that's specifically made for Warforged, and it's got a augment called a Deconstructor, which is a very, very good augment. I strongly recommend farming it out. And there's like 1 in 3 chance you'll get either the armor, that is the docent, or you'll get the Deconstructor, or you'll get nothing. On my main account, I've farmed this out many times with the alts. Got myself a whole pile of Deconstructors. It's just so useful. It's basically an augment who gives you augmented bypass and extra damage. Well, I ran it with multiple accounts, so it didn't feel as long. It might have an increased drop rate based on how many party members are in the party. I don't know. So it could be just solo running it is not as efficient as running with a group. Maybe. Just a theory. Yep. On my main account, I've got multiple secondary accounts. I can't afford the time of just running the quest again and again and again and again. So if I need an item, we got just a full party. Oh, I forgot we've got this last section. We might find the missing Warforged here. Well, still missing one. Haven't found it yet. Well, unless it can spawn in the final room, but I don't know. Maybe? We shall find out.
You're the first to reach me, Talbron. You and your entourage. Did you know that? All the others failed my training course.
Gorin, it's me, Talbron. What are you doing here?
Talbron. Talbron, you still think you can cover for me, but that ship's sailed. I did not fight admirably like you promised. I fought monstrously. We were taught to do monstrous things. That is why I called you all back. All the brothers of the Forge. We must all be untrained, unmade, splintered, melted, crushed back into lifeless dust, and then forgotten. Only then can the terrible things that were done be undone. Talbron, I am glad it was you. Only you, of all of us, truly escaped.
I hope you have found the peace you searched for, Gorin. I will think of Gorin as the last spark from a dying ember cast off from the inferno of the last war. I only pray that at last the fire has finally gone out.
Well, no deconstructor. Oh well. But at least we can finally level up. I started to do Sharn before. Trying to run Sharn on Elite level 26. Wasn't going as fast as I was hoping. Yeah, thanks. Totally worth it. I got another dragon shard. I'm really tempted to go back, do a TR into a monk, quickly run to 30, and then TR back into this character, just so I can take this the feat, the past life feat, that gives you another half a hit die on your on your hand wraps. Unfortunately, that's going to be a long trek. Then I'll have to reflag for all the raids again. So I'm being tempted by it. I have to think about it. Level 27. I guess we can go back to Shar now. Or Cogs. Either. I have to do Sharn for flagging. Not sure what's better. To do Sharn for flagging or do Cogs first for XP and then Shard once I've leveled up a bit. Let's see how this feels at level 27, and we'll take it from here. Let's see how Red Rain feels on Epic Elite at level 27.
You step into Zelith Crowspire's tidy office. The Inquisitive calls out to you. Step inside, quickly. There are eyes everywhere. Zelith pulls a switch and nods toward the back of the building. You hear the scrape of stone on stone as the concealed back door slides open. You walk out into the streets of Cogsgate. Towers loom high above, so tall they block out the night sky. Anyone who knows what's good for them will stay indoors tonight. A rain of blood has fallen here, and it's up to you to mop up the mess. Despite the slurred words, you've learned more about the Dask-Boromir rivalry from the poor man. You wonder what the other residents of the neighborhood might have to say. The doors to the gambling hall are wide open and its chairs are empty, though the nearby tables are still covered with food and drink. Looks like the customers left in a hurry. You find a crossbow bolt still lodged in the victim's side. You also notice several gashes on her palm. The incriminating information in this ledger would fetch a pretty price on the black market. You wonder why the murderer would leave it behind. A chest full of coins was left here locked and untouched. This was no robbery. You can tell that there's more to this than meets the eye. Searching the gambling hall raised more questions about the murders than answers. As you turn to leave, you hear figures clamoring outside the building.
I love competing with the DM text. DM stands for Dungeon Master.
You strike down the last of this group of Dask thugs and check to make sure there are no more nearby. Now to leave the way you came.
Basically, in this quest chain, they designed it so there's a lot of different text lines where the Dungeon Master reads it out for you. And if you trigger two different cutscenes at the same time, it queues them. So it'll finish playing the first one, and then it'll play the second one, rather than having them overlap or cut out. So if you go really fast and you keep on triggering different cutscenes, you can have a whole bunch of the storyline queued up for you, and it just plays off one after the other. So kind of rushing through and letting that happen. Yeah, so there are a few residents hiding around here. If you talk to them, you complete an extra objective. Basically, it's a little bit of a story. They tell you what's going on. And if you talk to them, you get a bit of XP at the end. So you've got to go down these two passageways first before we can go through this gate in the center. Mind you, right now I am running a level 31 quests on Elite, which is considered 33, if not 34. I don't remember if there's 31 or 32. And I am only level 27, so I am way, way below the proper, well, expected level of this quest. That was a close call. I wanted to re-rage so I could use my Razor Claw Shifter heal to get rid of the poison. But it's also my auto-healing, and I almost died.
The surprisingly well-decorated rooms show signs of a struggle. Your stomach clenches in anticipation as you near the crime scene. After examining the corpse, you can see that he was killed by a poisoned crossbow bolt. His last gambling ticket lies just out of reach. Felon had just won big, cleaning up on a match in an underground fighting ring down in the Cogs. Felon must have spent his recent winnings digging himself out of debt. Imagine meeting your end right after getting yourself clear. At least he died in the black. Despite clear attempts to make this look like a break-in, all of Felon's valuables are still in their proper places. As you mull this over, you hear voices from the direction of the front door.
I like it because it gives me a break. I don't have to talk. This particular fight, if you have a good social skill, you can actually talk your way past it. If you got diplomacy, they'll let you pass. You can casually talk your way past it. It's actually the only fight you can talk your way past in this particular quest. All the rest you have to fight.
To make it past the Dusk thugs blocking.
Well, there is an optional Medusa, but we'll get to that later.
These first two crimes, you head back to the Wolf Gate, where Zelith awaits your results. Zelith unlocks
Now we
the gate,
proceed.
revealing a small lane that burrows deeper into the heart of Cog's Gate.
Yeah, thanks. Okay, only one way open right now. Yeah, this quest now becomes linear. You go down the hallway, come back, move on. They keep on hitting me with a poison damage over time, referred to as a dot. It's a problem. The problem I'm having with this quest, with this character, is that his gear is set up for level 20. And my MRR, my magical resistance rating, is only 75. I should be like closer to 140. This is fine.
The door to the pawn shop is unlocked, just as with the other crime scenes. Inside, the shopkeeper's body lies forgotten alongside all the other cast-offs in her shop. Some small packages lie in the cauldron. No doubt they were hidden there so they could be fenced on the black market later. A different body, but the same song. A crossbow bolt dipped in poison, and a palm covered in slashes. Yet this time a new detail catches your eye. A shattered pin bearing Von Arcanotechnic's symbol. A closer look at the keg reveals a hidden compartment filled with smuggled goods. The murderer could have emptied the pawn shop, and yet only Mord's life was taken. Armed with your findings, you wonder, what connects all these gruesome crimes? The last of the heavily armed halfling thugs falls. Another alley stretches before you. The more you learn about the victims, the more questions you have. You can only hope that Zulkus Crowspire holds the answers you've been seeking.
The champion over there was an archer, bombarding me. I don't know why I do this to myself. I mean, I am like 5 or 6 levels under the quest. Let's see, what is this? It's a level 32 quest on Epic Elite is 34, and I am level 27. I shouldn't be doing this. I know the attitude is, this is fine. It's really not.
A tiefling stands before you, with a face you remember from your recent adventures. Despite your own shock at meeting him again, you hope that Zulkas is willing to answer your questions about the murders. Zulkas steps through a dimension door, his face glowing with the smug triumph of a man who thinks he's won, though you're too busy dealing with his troll bodyguard to notice. The troll topples, yet another casualty of this bloody night. Now, to meet up with Zelith.
Yeah, Myth Drenor overleveled. Myth Drenor is harder content. I mean, I tried to do flag for, can't remember what's the name, Defiler of Just. I was like level 28 last round, and I got destroyed. Those quests are very, very tough. And Myth Drenor is also pretty tough. Oh, no. Maybe I'll do Feywild. Feywild should be a little bit more lenient. I don't know, maybe Barovia? I'm running out of quests to do, and I'm starting into my legendary levels for the first time bonus. And yeah, I need to consider what quests I want to do. Yeah, maybe Barovia or Feywild. Should be easier. Should be easier when you're way under levels.
Zelith shakes her head, the weight of her brother's betrayal settling over her like the dirt that falls on the streets from above. But you've got a job to finish. Another crime scene waits for you in an alley to the south.
So I decided this time I was just going to get myself a really, really good gear set for level 20. And then just keep on wearing it from level 20 to 30 and doing epic TRs. So I really invested in the level 20 gear and made sure that was like, it had everything on it. It's basically as good as I could get it with the time constraints I had. Do it optional now. Let's do it after.
You stoop down to search the contents of Nahrim's pack. Looks like he was fleeing for his life when the murderer got to him. More slashes on the palm. And this time, you see the pattern. You wonder how you could have missed such an important clue. The slashes were literally the killer's signature. Whoever did this wasn't shy about letting people know. You find a security ledger embossed with Vaunt Arcanotechnic's symbol. A quick glance reveals that every victim had worked for Vaunt. It's too big of a coincidence to overlook, especially since a note in the margin talked about cleaning up loose ends. That ledger told you what you needed to know. The victims all worked for Vaughn.
The hireling can't find the secret door is under level.
Much about his operations down in the cogs. You strike down the last of the attackers. You can't let these petty thugs hold you back, not when you're so close to the truth. You catch up with Zelith and fill her in on the
Final
clues you
gate.
found so far. She points you towards an alleyway northwest of where the goblin was last seen.
Trying to maneuver myself out of the firing range of Sartre. Don't want to be shot by him while I'm being attacked in melee. think there's, yeah, last NPC to talk to here.
Talking to the residents has given you more insight into life in Cogsgate.
Yeah, 5,000 XP for clicking on a few
Behind this
NPCs.
door. What part of make it look like an accident didn't you understand? And leaving your signature behind was beyond stupid. Now Zelith is onto us. It's only a matter of time before she and those adventurers come barging in here.
Okay, Urk is a problem. When you attack him, he escapes and lays down mines that'll explode. You gotta be aware of him. So, let him come to you. He's laying down mines. I'm gonna wait for them to explode. Deal with the trash. The danger from the mine is that they drop you on the floor. And you get knocked over and you can die to all of the surrounding damage. I ran out of rage. That was what happened.
Breathe a sigh of relief as the goblin falls. You've sent the murderer to his just reward. But as you turn to confront Zolkis, the goblin suddenly rises. Zolkis quickly casts a dimension door. The tiefling and the goblin disappear through it. Zelith shakes her head. Sometimes it's a stranger who holds the knife. Sometimes it's family. I let blood cloud my judgment, and I'll pay for that every day. But I'll keep going. I'll move on to the next crime and the next. You can't just stay inside when trouble rains down. Not even if it never stops.
Well, that was kind of intense. I think we should find some other legendary levels, but they're a little bit easier to solo when you're way under level. So what do you all vote for? Barovia or Feywild? Pick one. Well, we'll work on it. Do a few quests and see how it goes. I could just do Slayer Zones. That's not fun to watch. Slayer Zone is the kind of thing you do while you've got something on your second monitor that you're watching. You're like mindlessly running around and collecting kills. Or if I'm too distracted by chat and I has anything that doesn't require my attention. Let's go Cell Repair. And while I'm doing that, you all can decide if you want me to go try Feywild or Barovia. Or Ravenloft, it's called. Whatever. Right now I'm selling all the junk loot that I picked up during the quest. Anything who doesn't... If it's not named, or if it's a random generated item, that doesn't have two augment slots on it, it gets dumped. There's a pawn shop vendor over here. I recommend talking to her every time and seeing if you get a clicky. Build of lesser false life. Yeah, sometimes you get a clicky. Clickies are basically items that you can equip, and you can use them off of your hotbars. They cast a spell. Kind of like the items I have here. This one casts invisibility, this one casts death ward, but it's an item I'm wearing. So one of the most sought after items is a clicky for a shield. And you can get shield clickies, which is a shield is a spell that prevents you from taking damage from something called magic missile. And it's very, very useful. Magic missile is a very oppressive spell, so having a complete immunity to it is really cool. So what do you all say? Feywild or Barovia? Feywild is a like whimsical fairyland kind of setting. Everything's got like a bluish greenish tinge to it. It's all supposed to be like a mysticky-ish kind of sparkly environment, and Barovia is supposed to be kind of gothic horror kind of setting. Everything's dark and gloomy, and you know, vampires and undead, etc. So those are the two settings, and picking one of them. If no one can come to a decision, we'll roll a dice for it. This cannon can be used as a DPS test. If you've got the Magefire cannon unlocked in your master manual, you can see how fast you can get him to like minus 10 million hit points, as an indication of how fast your DPS is. But you first have to unlock Magefire Cannon. The way you do that is you go into a quest called Schemes of the Enemies. You step in, you go to the first group of NPCs, you talk to them, you get past the door, you get to the second group of the NPCs, you fight them, and then you start attacking a door. And you'll have a trap that springs that has like 50 mage cannons who spring up. Once you clear that, well, rinse and repeat until you get to like your 800 you need to unlock it. I've unlocked it on Orion, but not on this server. Okay, we're going to roll for it. So, Barovia, starting with the B, is going to go before Feywild, starting with an F. So, we're going to roll a dice. 1d2. 1 is going to be Barovia, 2 is going to be Feywild. Good luck to all. Okay, roll 1d2. 1's Barovia, 2 is Feywild. And we rolled a 1, which is Barovia. Unfortunately, I don't have the bottle of mist, so I can't just teleport directly there. I have been farming the Devil You Know, or Tower of Despair, more popularly known as, for a for Shavrath Wars of what trophies, whatever they're called, so I can make my item. But haven't gotten enough yet. Yeah, it's a level 33 quest rather than level 34 quests. Only 6 levels above my level now, instead of 7.
You stumble through the thick mists. You spot a corpse in the grass near the abandoned cart.
If you deal with the ambush now, you fight more wisps, but only wisps, and then you don't have to fight them later. kind of like a trade-off.
The wisp leads you to a small graveyard, then vanishes. Whispering voices call to you from down below.
Yeah, remember I was talking about shield before? So they're shooting these purple darts at me, which is magic missile. And because I've got a spell called Night Shield, which is a version of shield, yeah, I completely ignore it.
The last of the wisps fades away. The forest is silent once more.
Now we run to the end of this road. Skip this guy.
His face strangely pale. You hear howling in the distance. A raven cries somewhere overhead.
Yeah, in this chain, the voice lines get cut off if you progress too fast.
So many scarecrows to guard a road in the middle of the forest. What do these straw men keep away?
And here we come. There's the fight.
You hear a branch snap behind you. Scarecrow clatters to the ground. As you recover, you realize you can hear noise from up the road to the east, the same way you came.
Nah, we'll just finish. Here we go.
What's the first thing I remember? It must be Papa, calling out my name. Irina! He'd shout whenever I wandered too far away.
I'm under level, I can't even use these things.
When I was little,
The items are too high of a level.
now I know what he felt. He was afraid.
This is one of the prime Slayer zones for leveling up, because a lot of monsters spawn in, and it can go pretty fast. Get yourself a Slayer potion that increases the amount of Slayers you get, amount of kills you get, and you rack up the numbers pretty fast and level up pretty fast. Well, for a moment there I got stuck in the loading screen. Hey, we've activated the saga. Start the quests. I'm always gonna summon my healing hireling, who can also resurrect me as a backup, just in case. This is supposed to be a very spooky quest. We're looking for two lost children. You hear whispering in the dark. Like all different creepy environments and notes all over the place.
Here we are. You spot something in the middle of the room. Something small and old and forgotten. We're tired. We've been here so long. We want to rest. Take us to a nice place to rest.
We found their bolts.
We want to rest now. You found the secret door. It leads down to the basement, where the monster is. Beyond the secret door, a dusty stairwell leads down into darkness.
Yeah, so my first objective is to take their bones and put them in their coffins in the basement. There's a locked chest over here. Actually, it's trapped. I don't feel like dying midstream. I was debating if I should just skip the spiders, but they all have pathing. That means they're programmed in such a way that they try to track me down. If I leave them up, the game is not going to like that, and will create something called a dungeon alert, which makes it is kind of designed to slow me down.
You gently place the bones inside the coffins. Much better. The distant voice seems pleased. We can rest here, once you get rid of the monster in the basement.
So we've got to find a monster in the basement, and for that we first need to unlock the basement and get a key. So these three switches unlock the room where you can find a key. There's a collectible here. It's got a whole bunch of undead behind it. Escape before they wake up. Well, we've unlocked the open room, and now we find the parents of these poor kids.
A tarnished key.
I don't know what they were messing with, but they're both undead now. If I remember correctly, this door is pretty easy to find. Let's see if this Harlan can find it. Again, he's only level like 18. Way under level. But alas, he cannot find it. Oh, two undead saw me. Gotta get rid of them now. So yeah, I know I'm way under level, but feels pretty chill, not too bad. I feel like that's foreboding. Famous last words. It's actually a very tricky part right over here. All the traps. And then all the skeletons are going to pop up right next to that door. Here goes nothing. Very cramped section. If you move out too much into the hallway, you'll get blasted by the traps. Bunch of blade traps.
The monster's around here someplace.
You can smell him. He stinks.
You're gonna pull this lever and all these doors are gonna open up, of course, and we'll be trapped in here. Or not, just run. Yeah, we can ignore the archers. They don't have pathing. That means they don't move from their spot, so they shouldn't increase dungeon alert.
The sound
Here
of
comes the end
chanting
fight.
echoes from down the hallway. Robed apparitions surround the altar, chanting, "He is the ancient. He is the land." The ghostly chant suddenly changes. "One must die. One must die. Lorgotha Decaya, we awaken thee." The robed figures vanish, and something stirs in the water. The creature collapses. A little voice in the darkness says,
You got rid of the monster. Good. Time to sleep. Oh. Good night.
There's a sudden gust of air, as if the entire building let loose a sigh.
Okay. 7 minutes, 45,000 XP. Not great, but okay. So, got some more action points. What should I spend them on? Either get more double strike or I can increase my action boosts. I'm using my action boosts a lot. Probably use this and then unlock Ghost Touch and an extra imbue die. I might want to invest in my attack. The old bone grinder. Basically, every single quest in this chain has got some kind of messed up story to it. There are some exceptions where the story is less messed up, but not by a lot.
Voices, ragged and carping, come from the other side of the windmill. Peasants with joyless faces.
They're all standing here waiting for food.
An indistinct murmur passes among them at the sight of an outsider. The rest of these peasants are unlikely to leave. They stare sullenly.
The first three I can intimidate, bluff, and use diplomacy on to get rid of. But all the rest are going to stay here.
The old woman's voice grows cold.
Aye, they were here yesterday. Wanted pies and hadn't the corn.
3 kids went missing.
I told them to go home, but did they listen? No. Off they trot.
A wolf howls in the distance. Its cry echoed first here, then there. The wind whispers treacherously among the upper boughs.
Yeah, so we're looking for some clues. First one's this urn with teeth.
Pebbles filling the urn between the megaliths. They are human teeth.
I believe that these wisps don't respawn, but the rest of the animals do. The wolves and werewolves. I found their second clue, a hunk of
This corpse is
meat.
nearly beyond recognition. So savagely has it been mangled by wolves.
Now we've got to look for, there's a third one. A third corpse who happens to be a spirit. We can actually talk to that one. We gotta wait for it to spawn in. Oh, where is it? Use the word spawn as kind of the word that's used for when something just comes out of nowhere, like materializes in. So refer to as spawning in. Hey, my guild that I was invited to on Thalanis just hit level 174. Nice. That's what that ting was. Wait for long enough, there's a red named werewolf that spawns in. But primarily I'm here waiting for the spirit to spawn in. Kind of like a glowing, sparkly look, moving slowly across the map. So where is it? I've seen it where it spawned, I believe, on that side, but only like once. Could be someplace around here. So for anyone joining now, we're running a quest in adventure pack called Barovia, or well, Barovia is the name of the land we're in right now. And we are currently in the middle of a quest and we're looking for evidence about missing kids. And these are all like gothic horror kind of themed quests. So far we found a urn full of human teeth, and we found a mangled corpse. And now there should be a spirit who spawns in. The third character. And that one we can interrogate for evidence, and they'll tell us what actually happened. Here comes the big red werewolf. He is in fact way stronger than me, so we can't really trade blows one for one, and I won't win unless I like heal up mid-fight. There's a shrine here, so in case you haven't already, there's a reminder again, please subscribe on YouTube and follow on Twitch. It's literally free. Hit like. Thank you. She definitely should have spawned. Here we go. Based on talking to her, we found out what really happened.
The ghost's story appears to be true. If so, then the women of the windmill are not what they appear to be, nor are their pies.
Yeah, so this windmill is ran by three women, who apparently are hags, and the pies that they're serving, well, have human flesh inside of them.
How many times must I tell you?
Morgantha looks down at you.
You poor misguided soul. You thought that they did not know?
Morgantha howls.
Enough of this. Kill him, and you'll feast on outsider pies tonight.
Yeah, so this is how messed up this thing is. They all know what they're doing.
That's the last of them. Now for the pie makers within the windmill. Mad cackling.
We're gonna go get rid of them.
As a dredge climbs, fully formed, out of the bubbling, tarry contents of a cauldron.
Gotta be careful here not to get overwhelmed. It's three hags all at the same time. We're gonna go for Morgantha first, because if you kill the two daughters first, she'll skip town and get an ally to help her. So let's go for her first. Each one of these hags has two forms. First they have the human form, and once you defeat them in the human form, they swap into their true form, which is the hag form. And of course you've got to kill them again. This dancing orb spell is supposed to make me dance in place, and I've been resisting it, throwing my saves. Throwing my saves means that the game rolls dice for me and determines if I have a sufficient will save to negate it or I fall victim to it. Okay, we got rid of Morgantha. We can get rid of the other two now.
Are dead, leaving behind them only the bitter taste of dreams cut short and hope broken. All of this, whispers Valentina's ghost. Burn it.
Okay, we'll set the whole thing on fire.
Oil spreads across the floor and then catches fire, filling the windmill with billowing, choking smoke. It is time to go.
That's done. That was 11 minutes. Not bad. You have two ways of concluding this quest story. Either by telling the poor uncles, niece and nephew, whatever they're called, what actually happened, or by saving them the details. Either way, you're going to get a reward. So whatever the first option is yes, yes, yes. Thank you very much. Take care. Next quest. There's a goal on Twitch to unlock VIP badges. But for that, you have to have 5 people chatting at once. And for some reason, I'm unable to achieve that goal. Hint, hint. Truth is, I don't really know how to get my audience engaged. Either that, or it's more fun just to listen or lurk. Whatever the case might be. I did not talk to Ismac or whatever his name is. I need to start this quest. So the one who's in charge of all the atrocities that are going on is someone called Strahd. And we need to deal with him. Let's go deal with Strahd. Okay, this quest is massive. Like, really massive. Okay, Madame Eve over here is a character who reappears in this quest chain. She's like a fortune teller. And she's going to give me my fortune. In other words, she's going to basically tell me, in this particular quest, there's like 8 versions of how this quest can be laid out. And she's going to give me the one, tell me where I need to go. So the quest objectives are going to pop up now based on the cards that she's going to draw. And that's going to be the version of the quest that I'm running right now. So I got to wait for her prediction. Then the first thing we need to do is go face off against Strahd. And we shall do that by completely ignoring him, cheating our way past him.
Madame Eva's words echo in your mind. An artifact. A trap. A friend. But will you know which is which when you find it?
My Harling's booked out. Radin is the manservant of Strahd. And he's pointing us in the right direction.
Swells of organ music, fraught with defiance, determination, and despair, greet your ears and fill the corridor ahead. As you step into the dining hall, the music abruptly halts. A stern, regal man turns to face you.
Okay, so we're going to pick a fight with him, and then just skip the fight.
I am, of course, Count Strahd von Zarovich, your host. Strahd's laughter echoes across the hall, and his form dissolves into mist. The door slams shut. It's a trap.
We've escaped. And now we're on our quest objective. So, treasure card, miser, treasury, hidden by fire. Gotta go to the treasury first. Also gotta go to the wine cellar, which is in the basement. And death card is beast, audience chamber, 2nd floor. This quest, if you don't know like the layout of where everything is, the different floors, you can go here for hours, circling around looking for where to go. Also, I don't want to open up that door now because everything inside will attack me. Mind you, I am level 27 and a level, was it 33? 34. Yeah, I'm out of my element. Treasury. Fine. Treasury should be like on the 3rd floor, I think. Third floor? Yeah, 3rd floor. Should be like a library here, and somewhere around there should be the treasury. This should be the treasury. Nope. I'll just go to the second one. Second objective. Start from there. Merchant and a wine cellar in the basement. I know what that one is. Second floor. First floor. Basement. Yeah, you can explore this entire castle. It's huge. So many places where you can go.
You have found an ally within Ravenloft. If Esmeralda had not told you of the ward barriers around the castle and the keystone needed to escape them, finding the icon of Ravenloft would be all for naught.
Okay, find the keystone in the chapel behind the altar on the 2nd floor. Okay, we can go to the 2nd floor. Second floor. Back in the day when I was running solo walkthrough and guide quests, this is one of the quests that I always had a problem with. Because, like, when I'm supposed to record it 8 times for all the different permutations that it could be. And then what? When I was running solo walkthrough and guide quests, I would go down every nook and cranny, do every single optional, every breakable. That's like the scope of this video was just too scary. I just keep on avoiding it. Okay, level 2, we gotta go to the chapel, find a keystone.
Dusty scrolls and tomes line the walls, and a great desk dominates the room. Sitting there,
Hey, you think you could threaten this guy and get a...
scratching away with quill at paper. He ignores you, completely absorbed in his work.
You've got a key from the bottom floor. You can, from the basement floor, you can actually get that chest. Well, here's Strahd. I don't know if we have to face off against him, but we'll see.
Strahd stands here, gazing into the distance.
Well, here comes a nice fight.
He speaks. I hope you found exploring the castle stimulating. The worthy learn to call it home. Strahd
Gotta avoid stepping into the mist in the corners to get into trouble.
Suddenly, a gate of red light crackles into existence. A wry smile lines the vampire's face as he dissolves into the portal,
Yeah.
whispering.
Right now I'm playing a quest in the quest chain called The Mists of Ravenloft.
You find yourself standing in a place of darkness and mist. You cannot even be certain if you're still within Castle Ravenloft. Strahd's voice echoes from the darkness. You have stepped through my little door. Very good. You are either brave or foolish. A trial by combat shall let us discover which it is. Let us begin.
These archers are the worst. The amount of damage they're dealing is crazy. And because they're all vampires, they'll all, like, disappear and reappear, making it very hard to attack them. And now come all the spirits.
Well struck. Now, let us see how you fare against a true champion, fallen though he may be.
Because of my filigree set on my weapon, basically they become more vulnerable the longer I attacked him. So once I've attacked him for a few seconds, his health starts going down faster. Here comes a double or nothing.
Impressive. I knew that I saw promise in you. Normally, a performance such as this would be adequate for my first trial. But you have piqued my interest. Shall we raise the stakes? Double or nothing, then.
Having immunity to negative levels is critical for this kind of a fight, because they keep on trying to drain negative levels from you. Could be a serious problem if you get debuffed. It means if you lose your death ward. These circles that they put on the floor, they explode after a few seconds. I don't want to stand inside of them.
You truly are a force with which to be reckoned.
Thank you, thank you.
I look forward to discussing your performance and how you may be of service when next we meet. Alas, we are quite out of time. Other matters demand my attention. I have
Well, that was like 16,000 XP.
for rest to be prepared. Please.
There's a trap with springs here, but only when you rest.
Will wish to be fully ready for what comes next.
And the server is I don't want to. And the trap is you get 5 witches in the closet. Nice trap. Now we shall rest. And as always, I'll remind you because this is a restaurant, so if you haven't already, please like and subscribe and follow on Twitch. That's it. That was the message of the shrine. It says it all over the shrine.
The portrait of Strahd here is amazingly lifelike. In fact, as you stare at it, his image begins to move.
I believe this is again one of those optional side story things you don't have to do. But I do believe you get a chest for it and some XP. So we might as well. Four pictures around this room, and he moves from picture to picture. And if you step in the middle of this room, floor breaks and you fall down into a dungeon. One of these shadows walked over the floor and revealed the trap. Sorry, there's actually 5 different pictures. 4 on the 4 walls, and also there's one above the stairwell. But that picture is very annoying, it's hard to get to. You gotta have ranged for it. Thank you for moving back. Now we can attack you easily.
As Strahd's portrait fades forever from the scene, the doors to the east and west swing open, offering 2 new avenues of exploration.
Okay, let's go downstairs. We need to go back to 2nd floor to get the keystone behind the altar over there. He moves, so we'll kill him. The rest we can ignore, because they're archers. This is level 2. Once again, this is one of those places where you have to know the layout of the castle. Or at least use the wiki map, because if not, you'd never know to go down this hallway. The special type of death effect that stacks over time. If you don't have immunity to negative levels, it's gonna kill you very fast. These zombies, when you kill them, they drop their arms, who then attack you also.
Putrid evil radiates from this skeletal corpse as it rises to challenge you. Its eyes gleam with malice, and dark prayers to evil gods whisper from its floor.
the helping trash mobs spawn in. You kill them in like half a minute or something. After they die, they respawn in. So if the fight's taking you too long, you have to fight multiple waves of them, which in turn makes the fight go even longer.
With a shriek of rage, the lingering spirit of this evil priest is banished from this realm. You have found the keystone, but the icon of Ravenloft awaits discovery somewhere within the castle.
Treasury hidden by fire. Maybe now we can access it. So back to the 3rd floor we go. Damage from it. There's like a little counter on the top right in my debuff bar. The top right of the screen is my buffs. These are all the good things I have, and underneath it is all the bad things. That's something here takes 11 more minutes until I can get rid of it. So they hit me with that dagger. Like after 5 seconds, it counts down and attacks me. And I do need to actively block for it not to damage me. Okay, I think the treasury is the 3rd floor. Before I couldn't find it. But I remember it being very easy to find, so must be blocked off by plot armor. Plot armor is the term when something, the only reason you cannot do it is because, well, the game developers didn't want you to do it. So they prevented it from happening, regardless of the logic behind it. Yeah, see, now magically there's a door here. Before I couldn't find it. Yeah, they wanted me to get the keystone first, that's all. So we've got the keystone. Now we shall fight. Raven's Bane, where you've got a whole bunch of spirits. I guess this version just one has spiders. And once again, just as a reminder, this quest is level 32, and on Elite it's considered level 34, and my character is only level 27, so this is a bit above my pay grade, so sorry if it's taking longer than you would expect.
This room barely contains a brooding metal tower. Faint light glows from a starry night sky painted on the ceiling. There is no obvious way into the tower. You discover the icon of Ravenloft among some trifles and coins beside the ominous metal tower. You thank good fortune it had not yet been placed within. A sense of peace washes over you. As you hold the icon of Ravenloft in your hands, and stow it securely in your pack. With both the icon and the keystone in hand, it is time to leave. According to Esmeralda, the only way out is through the top of the South Tower.
So, South Tower it is. Let's go all the way to the top of the stairs. Before, this passageway would be blocked off by a barrier. And now we've got the means to get through the barrier. On the top floor over here, this is level 4. The second door open over here has another whole staircase. You can go all the way to the top. This should be it. We climb, climb, climb. This is for a different quest. It's currently locked by plot armor. But there's like a red barrier at the top of these stairs where you can't get by unless you've got the keystone and the icon.
With the keystone in hand,
178,000. And this took
you check your bags.
25 minutes.
Sure enough, the icon of Ravenloft is still there. You have done it. With a sigh of relief, you wonder if you will cross paths with Esmeralda again.
You can exit this quest on many different levels, either the front gate or here. Sometimes even you can get to the top of this tower, depending on which ending you've got. And way below over there, you can actually see the town of Barovia. If you got enough of a speed boost, you can make it all the way to the front gate. I don't have nearly enough speed to make it that far. Should be able to make it to the town, though. And here's the tavern. We didn't even touch the ground. Yeah, it's really cool. On my character Jokin, who's meant for speed, I took the jump all the way to the front, to the main gates of Barovia. There's actually a ledge over there you can stand. Yeah, there we go. Finished the first chain. Spend our extra action point. Dump it in here. There we go. Well, I guess I'm going to call it over here. It's been 3.5 hours. So yeah, we'll see about next stream. Not sure exactly when yet. Usually Mondays and Wednesdays when I try to do it. But due to a lot of things in real life that are messing up my schedule right now, schedule is a little bit shaky, so we'll see. Well, as always, you enjoyed this stream. I hope you did. Thank you very much for being a guest on my show, Ask Aldbar DDO Live. I hope to see you all in the next stream. So, well, take care. Bye.